something else?
Yes, I had a little personal business to take care of, but I finished that now. Has things settled down here?
Around here, that'll be the day.
Well, I've just wondered. Since that girl blew up at Dr. Katz right here in the lobby, everyone's talking about it.
Well, it was really awful when it was going on, but at least she lived.
I hope she doesn't come back. Dr. Katz is such a nice man. He doesn't deserve that kind of treatment.
Yeah.
Steve just called Jesse. Ann and Jeremy are on their way to New Hampshire.
Oh, I bet Steve hated to see them leave.
Yeah, I know he did. He said he was coming back to the office to do some work, but I know him better than that. He's just trying to keep busy to keep his mind off their leaving.
Well, I guess we were all sorry to see Ann Logan go. I better get back to work.
Back so soon, Heather? I expected you'd be with Cynthia Elliott congratulating her on her performance.
Well, I don't want to waste my time talking to someone like that, Dr. Katz. I'm very busy.
Oh, not so fast, young lady. You and I are going up to my office.
Now?
Right now. I'm going to get to the bottom of this Cynthia Elliott problem once and for all.
Just be calm, Laura, and answer my questions. Will you do that?
Yes, David.
Good. Now, why did Luke Spencer and Robert Scorpio go to Washington to the World Security Bureau?
To see someone.
Do you know who?
No.
Very well. Do you know why they wanted to see somebody there?
No.
Did you overhear them say the reason they were going?
Just that they were going.
All right. I'm going to ask you another question, Laura, and I want you to think very carefully before you answer. Do you understand?
Yes. Yes, very carefully.
Did you yourself say anything that would make them go to Washington? Think, Laura. Did you say anything at all?
Mr. Valentine informs me that your visit today is prompted by a bit of a problem you encountered in Port Charles. Is that correct?
Only technically, Mr. Masters. Our problem is not a case of where, but rather whom.
Please go on.
We're here because you're the only person who can tell us why the World Security Bureau has taken the David Gray file and put it under code, and also under top priority secrecy.
Well, the explanation, Mr. Spencer, is relatively simple. The David Gray file is sealed as per my direct order.
So we're informed.
Well, let's cut right down to the bone here. Are you willing to tell us whatever it is that you know about David Gray?
I am. I'll tell you what I can.
Another one of you find her.
No, she's not in the kitchen
And
area.
I looked every place. I looked in all the staterooms, and Laura is nowhere to be found. How about the docks? Did anyone check the docks? What about down the cargo hold? Did you
Not a
look
sign
there?
of her.
The only answer is David Gray's got her. That's it.
Oh, my God.
Now, who are you going to call?
I'm going to call Robert and Luke. They're going to want to know what's going on. Yes, operator. I would like the World Security Bureau in Washington, please. No, I don't know the number. Yes, thank you. I'll wait.
What can they do from Washington?
Well, I don't know.
I'm going to go find her.
Jackie, wait a minute. Where are you going to go?
To the police.
No, please, Jackie, don't go. Wait till Luke gets... No, operator. I don't want to talk to just anybody. I want to talk to a Mr. Masters, please. Well, I'll hold as long as I have to.
Do you want me to get Jackie back here? I can still catch her.
Oh, no, forget it. She's too determined. You probably can't catch her anyway. I'm telling you, Robert and Luke are going to be so furious about this. Well, they're going to the police, especially when we're this close to David Gray. Yes, I'm holding. Well, where are you going?
Oh, I thought I'd take a look in the docks for Laura.
I thought you already looked there.
Doesn't never hurt to take another look.
Oh. Operator, I don't care. I don't care if he's in conference. I don't care if he's in Timbuktu. You tell them that Tiffany Hill is on the phone, and she wants to talk to Mr. Masters right now.
All right, sit down, Heather.
Dr. Katz, I need to get back to work.
I said sit down. Then you tell me, just what was that performance supposed to accomplish, huh?
What performance?
Let me warn you, Heather, I have had it up to here with playing games with you. You know exactly what I'm talking about, and you are going to answer me. Now, what did you hope to gain by provoking poor Cynthia into that outburst?
Dr. Katz, I honestly don't know what you mean.
If the whole idea was to discredit me, as I seriously suspect it was, well, then it backfired, because everyone who heard her downstairs just realized how disturbed she is. No one believed one word of what she said.
I don't know. I wasn't there.
What do you mean you weren't there? Of course you were there. I saw you there. All right, you wanted Cynthia to discredit me in front of the hospital staff.
Now, why would I want that?
Why? To minimize the effect of my report on you to the judge. In that incredible, scheming little mind of yours, you decided that if Cynthia succeeded in making me out to be some kind of a monster, the judge would ignore my professional opinion. Well, it just doesn't work that way.
Whatever Cynthia Elliott did was entirely her idea.
You're lying, Heather. All you succeeded in doing is making it perfectly clear that you are scheming, conniving, harmful, and dangerous to anyone who threatens you. And that, young lady, adds up to a textbook example of someone who is not fit to live in society.
You're wrong, Dr. Katz.
No, you're wrong, Heather. That charade you tried to stage with Cynthia only reinforces my suspicions that you are not getting any better. Your mental health is growing steadily worse.
I think you're just saying this to worry me.
Well, it should worry you, because my report on you to the court is due in exactly 1 week.
Just be calm, Laura, and answer my question. Did you say anything to your sister, or Luke, or Robert Scorpio, which would make them think that you report to me?
No, David, nothing.
Yet you bring me no information, Laura. You promised you would listen and tell me what you hear. Why haven't you done that?
They don't talk in front of me.
Never?
Not about important things, no. Don't you see, David, I can't report to you if I don't hear
All right,
anything.
Laura. Don't get excited. Just remain calm.
Is it okay to talk?
Yes.
Her sister just freaked out.
In what way?
Well, she discovered her sister gone, she tore up the ship, and then she took off.
She's not coming here. She doesn't know that Laura and I meet here.
Well, if she knows, she doesn't care. She said she was going to the cops.
That would be Captain Ramsey. They've had contact before. I see. How can I use this? Of course.
Wait, that's my purse.
Yes, I know, Laura. But it's been stolen. I want you to listen very carefully. You went for a walk. 2 young men ran by, grabbed your purse, and kept running. Is that clear?
Yes, they grabbed my purse.
It was stolen by 2 young boys. Do you understand? They were running fast, so you couldn't recognize them. You can't identify them. All you know is they took your purse and ran.
They ran.
So now you will go to the police station and report that your purse has been stolen. Do you understand, Laura?
My purse has been stolen.
While you were out taking a walk, you will not remember this meeting with me or this man here. Is that quite clear?
I will not remember meeting you or this man here.
Excellent. You may leave now, Laura, and go directly to the police.
Yes, to the police.
That was brilliant. But are you sure she'll do it?
She's under my control. She'll do whatever I tell her to do. She'll answer any question if she can.
If she can?
I still don't know what Spencer is planning with the World Security Bureau in Washington. Let's go.
I am aware that David Gray made things a bit rough for you gentlemen.
A bit rough, sir?
Yes.
David Gray is a hypnotist, for one thing. He has a young woman named Laura Templeton under his complete control.
And that's just the start of it. The Port Charles police are now involved, not to mention an act where Luke was provoked to the point of almost killing Gray. Then we had a chase.
Chase?
I was led on a wild goose chase across New England. At one point, I was locked in an airplane going God knows where, and had to fight my way out, parachute out of it.
Well, that was provident, Mr. Spencer.
I was prepared.
This girl named Laura Templeton has a sister who has been working closely with us. Now, she's under enormous amount of strain, too.
Obviously. Now, if you will you tell me what conclusions you yourself have drawn from David Gray?
One thing is fairly obvious. He's either the leader of or a high-ranking member in some sort of cult.
He is. An exceedingly dangerous group of dedicated fanatics.
Now, this cult goes back into, all the way back to some ancient history thing, right?
Well, I can see you've done your homework.
Well, several symbols tied together for us.
So did a gypsy woman.
What else did you learn about this cult?
It has something to do with Malkuth.
Yes, it is.
The ambassador to Malkuth spoke of it briefly.
And what did you learn from him?
He confirmed what we'd already begun to assume.
Such as?
There was a symbol, there was a medallion, actually, that seems to be some sort of symbol of the cult.
That is correct, Mr. Spencer. The medallion is actually an ancient coin, and every member of the cult wears one.
I see. Is this it?
Steve, Dan tells me that Ann and Jeremy are on their way.
Yes, they are, with a big basket of Audrey's fried chicken, just in case they get hungry. Dan, have you had a chance to talk to Dr. Katz about this disturbance earlier?
No, not yet, Steve.
Well, from your phone call, Jesse, this woman who started the commotion left of her own volition. Is that right?
Yes, that's right, Steve. Dr. Katz was trying to calm her down, but she was completely out of control. She just ran right out of here.
Well, I still want to talk to Dr. Katz about her. This hospital can't afford even the hint of a scandal.
Certainly not right on top of the Arthur Bradshaw matter.
Exactly what I was thinking, Dan. Is Dr. Katz in his office?
Yes, he is.
Then I'll go up and talk to him.
Well, I've got some work on my desk to clean up.
Oh, Dan, if you're free tonight, why don't you come over to the house for dinner? With Ann and Jeremy gone, the place is going to seem awfully empty, and I know Audrey'd love to have you.
Well, that sounds good to me. 7:30?
That'll be fine, fine. I'll be leaving for home as soon as I finish talking to Dr. Katz.
Can you really expect me to file a favorable report when your behavior borders on the psychotic? When in my best professional judgment, you are dangerously close to being sociopathic.
Dr. Katz, you can't prove that.
The court doesn't ask for proof. The court wants my opinion supported by what I know.
Okay, what is it you think you know?
Exactly what you yourself know if you would only face the truth about yourself. Let's take Ann Logan's hearing, for example, all right?
Oh, come on, Dr. Katz. I did save her neck.
Oh, yes, well, that may have been one effect of it, sure. But saving Ann's neck was not your motive. You were just trying to help your own image.
I was trying to help General Hospital.
The hell you were! You made your grandstand play so it would improve your image in the eyes of the court, but you forgot one little detail.
What's that?
The eyes of the court are my eyes. If only you could have gotten that through your head. Then instead of using Cynthia Elliott to discredit me, you would be bending over backwards trying to prove to me that your mental health is getting better.
But I am getting better.
No, you're not. It has deteriorated. And of course you won't believe this, but I regret that. I regret that very much. Because as your psychiatrist, I was desperate to help you. I wanted so much to be able to file a positive report on you to the court. Well, you have now made that impossible. Come in. Oh, Steve.
Sorry to interrupt, Si, but I have to talk to you before the day's over.
That's all right, Dr. Hardy. Thank you for talking to me, Dr. Katz. Excuse me.
Si, I wasn't around when your former patient blew up in the lobby.
Oh, yes, Cynthia Elliott.
Well, I'm sure you know that it's causing a great deal of talk around the hospital, and that's something I'd like to nip in the bud. Would you mind refreshing my memory about her?
All right. Cynthia Elliott is a former patient of mine. When I was treating her, she accused me, as well as most of the other doctors, of making sexual advances towards her. Of course, she was lying, and there was no proof, but there could have been a court case. I didn't feel she could stand up under the emotional strain of the trial, so I resigned.
Yes, of course. This is a woman you told me about when you first applied for a position here.
That's right.
The patient you were treating at the clinic in Batavia.
Right, Cynthia Elliott. She was mentally unstable then. Well, in view of her attack on me today, I would say she is still unstable.
Well, what puzzles me is why, after such a long time, did she start on you again? And what caused her to stage a public display now?
I've been trying to answer that same question, Steve. I can only conclude that she was provoked. In her kind of mental condition, she is very susceptible to pressure, and I'm convinced that somebody pressured her into it.
Do you have any idea who?
I have no proof.
Si, I have to ask you to pursue this. If somebody is provoking that woman, you've got to find out who. We can't have this sort of thing happening again.
No, I agree with you, Steve. Don't you worry. As soon as I get the proof, I will stop it cold.
I appreciate your understanding, Si. We're still a little shaky from the Bradshaw matter, and the last thing we need now is more trouble.
Well, I'm sure there won't be any, Steve.
Thank you. That's what I wanted to hear.
Where did you get this?
Off David Gray's neck. He is one of the cult, isn't he?
He is. Apparently, you gentlemen have gathered up a considerable amount of information about David Gray. Would you mind summarizing it for me?
Well, when he first arrived in Port Charles, we assumed him to be a mild-mannered antique dealer with nary so much as a traffic ticket.
The Port Charles police confirmed this, but the fact that you have his file under top secret priorities obviously doesn't jive.
Actually, there was a David Gray, and he was, as you described, a antique dealer and never had so much as a parking ticket, but...
And he died.
Yes, he died, and your David Gray assumed his identity.
A perfect cover.
All right, let's continue, gentlemen, shall we? You discovered that David Gray was more than an antique dealer. What else did you learn about him?
He was responsible for my wife's death.
How did you determine that?
David Gray was going to rip off the sword and helmet of Malkuth at the Port Charles Museum exhibit. Laura Templeton was in on that plan.
Laura Templeton is Jackie's sister. Now, at the time, she was living with a photographer called Mel Wilson.
Wilson was also part of the plan. Now, he's disappeared. The way Robert and I have it figured, Gray was after Laura Templeton to shut her up and mistook my wife for her.
You see, they look very much alike.
You said you believe that Gray planned to steal the sword and the helmet from the Malkuth exhibit. Do you know for a fact that he succeeded?
No, because we have the sword.
Which leads us to believe that we're in a modicum of danger.
To say the least. Do you think he'll make a move to recover it?
Yes, he needs that sword.
Why?
Because it's the sword and the helmet that he needs together as a power figure in Malkuth.
Are you certain of that, Mrs. Spencer?
Ambassador Tabriz of Malkuth told us that the sword and the helmet together are the symbol of power. We understand all that. What we don't know is why, and why did my wife have to die?
Do you have an answer for that, Mr. Spencer?
I was hoping you would have the answer, Mr. Masters. So far, you've asked all the questions. We've given all the answers. When do you come up with an answer?
What is it you want to know, Mr. Spencer?
Isn't that obvious? We want to know what David Gray's intentions are. What is it, some kind of a coup? Does he want to take over the country? Does he want to take over the world? Is he a Mikos Cassadine clone or something? And besides that...
Yeah?
If he is not the leader of this cult, then who is?
Two good questions, Mr. Spencer. Two very good questions. What does the cult want? And is David Gray the leader? Excellent questions. I can't answer either one.
A comparably easy, pleasant day. I knew it wouldn't last.
Captain, my sister's missing.
Your sister is missing, so what else is new?
Will you listen to me? I think she's gone to David Gray.
All right, so she'll be back. Have you got any other earth-shattering news for me, miss?
Come on, you've got to help me. Robert and Luke are at the World Security Bureau in Washington, and I just don't know what else to do.
They went to the World Security Bureau. What are they doing there? What for?
I don't know, to get some more information about Gray.
Oh, gee.
That's it. That's probably why. He knew they had gone out of town, so he grabbed her. Come on, don't you see?
I'll tell you what I do see, young lady. I am the captain of police assigned to homicide. Do you know what the word homicide means? It means one person killing another person. It does not mean that I am the head of the Bureau of Missing Persons.
Come on, you can still help me. Call and make a bulletin, anything, please. I've just got to find...
All right. The stomach is starting up, which means I will give up. All right, I will call the Missing Persons Bureau and tell them about your sister. Then will you leave me alone so I can go home and take it easy? Please. Yeah, Fred, Captain Ramsey here. Sorry to bother you, but I'd like to add a name to the MP sheet. Yeah, tell the black and whites and all the foot patrolmen to keep their eye open for a Miss Laura Templeton. Her description, she's about 5 feet... What? You're kidding. Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, do that for me, will you? Yeah, that's fine. Thanks very much. Now, you tell me that you think your sister was abducted by David Gray, is that right?
I'm sure of it.
It's a very, very funny abduction, because let me tell you something. Your sister is here right now reporting a stolen purse.
She's what?
And they're sending her up here to my office. May I make a suggestion to you, Miss Templeton? Please don't jump to any more wild conclusions.
Captain, don't you see...
And if you do, please don't bring them to me. Please. Come in.
Hi. Laura, I have been
worried, say.
Oh, listen. Okay, there wasn't even that much money, and I can report all the stolen credit cards.
Yeah, but I just don't understand.
Well, I do. It was about a purse snatching, am I correct?
Yes, 2 boys in the park. Can you believe it? And it happened so fast I didn't even get a chance to see their faces.
Well, now are you happy, Miss Templeton? You have the captain of homicide running after a purse snatcher. If I keep talking to you very long, I'll be out rounding up stray dogs.
Laura, did you see David Gray? You know, you usually meet him in the park.
David Gray? Jackie, why on earth would I want to meet him in the park?
I mean, he didn't come up to you or anything like that? He didn't force you to go anywhere?
No, Jackie. I told you I haven't even seen him. Listen, why are you so excited? What's wrong?
I don't know. I just don't know anymore.
I take it I have your permission to go home now.
I'm very sorry, Captain Ramsey. Come on, Laura, let's go. Captain, I just hope we can forget this.
Oh, I can't tell you what a pleasure it's going to be for me to forget this. Bye now.
Yeah, bye.
You can't answer our questions, or you won't?
The questions aren't complicated, Mr. Masters. All we need to know is David Gray a part of this cult? And what is their ultimate goal?
You, of all people, should know, Mr. Scorpio. Answers cannot be given to the general public.
We are hardly members of the general public.
Nor are you any longer an agent with this bureau. You have no clearance. I advise you both to stay out of this.
Stay out of it? What are you talking about? We're right in the middle of it. We have exactly what David Gray and the whole cult wants. The sword.
Then I suggest you hand it over to me without further delay and let the bureau handle this from here on in.
No way.
I beg your pardon.
I said no way. You'll get that sword, maybe. When you tell us, who is Gray? What is this cult? And if he's not the leader of it, who is?
You are aware, I assume, that you are meddling in a very complicated and dangerous international situation.
With all due respect, sir, as you must be well aware of, it's not a situation we haven't been in before.
Then hand over the sword and get out of this one. Gentlemen, I am backed up. You will have to excuse me.
Certainly. Creep. This is an A1 creep, man. What a jerk.
He's new.
Well, that's no excuse.
You know, I've worked for them long enough to know a runaround when I see one, but why? Look, I'm sorry, mate. I really thought my previous status as a former agent would have helped us here.
Robert, it isn't you, it's Gray. One thing came through very loud and clear in here. This whole thing is a lot bigger than we thought.
Agreed. So let's plan our next move.
Well, I think Masters just planned it for us, didn't he? We're on our own, old boy. Just like, always. Here we go.
David.
Yes.
Demagus. The scrambler is operating.
I understand.
Time is running out, David. Therefore, consider this call a demand for immediate action. I repeat, immediate.
I'll satisfy your demands, sir. After all, I have a bigger stake in this operation than anyone.
I am glad you realize that, David. You know what you have to do.
I do, sir.
Then do it as quickly and effectively as possible.
Yes, sir.
And David,
Sir.
when you do it, be certain everybody is in place.